My husband has a mistress. It's his childhood friend, Chloe, who just married and moved overseas. At Chloe's wedding, he actually walked up to the altar, took her hand, and warned the groom, if you ever hurt her, I swear, I'll take her back. My friend secretly said I was too soft, that I didn't even get mad. When I needed his signature after a severe car accident and heavy bleeding, he flew to Africa for Chloe's birthday. Chloe will be lonely in a foreign country. She can't celebrate her birthday without me. The day Chloe came back, her friends forced me to chug 99 shots of hard liquor. My husband poured 98 of them down my throat himself. The last one? I smashed it in his face. He didn't know that the day before, I'd already sent a message to my father, a powerful figure in the underworld. Dad, I was wrong. I'll be back in 3 days to take over the family business. I had spent 7 years trying to be a good girl for him, almost forgetting who I really was. My actions froze everyone in the room. One of Chloe's friends shouted at her, Chloe, your friend is so rude. Chloe glanced at Derek, her face twisting in anger. Derek, what's wrong with your wife? My friend was kindly inviting her for drinks, and she acts like this? Derek's face was still dripping with liquor, his expression dark. He glared at me, pointing at my face and yelling, Autumn, what the hell is wrong with you? I ignored him, turning around and walking out of the club. Behind me, I heard Chloe's snarky, I'm not like other girls kind of comment. See, this is why I don't like dealing with women. So much drama. When the rideshare arrived, I got into the passenger seat, but my hand brushed against something soft, a piece of lingerie, and right under my feet were 2 used condoms. Derek had driven this car earlier today to pick up Chloe. It was obvious who they belonged to. My stomach lurched with disgust. I stumbled out of the car, throwing up until my vision swam. Almost as soon as I got home, Derek arrived. Seeing me look at him, he slapped me hard. Do you have any idea how much embarrassment you caused Chloe today? My face stung, instantly red and swollen. I winced in pain, but Derek's expression softened in a panic, and he cradled my face. Why didn't you dodge? I recoiled from his touch, forcefully swatting his hand away. Derek swallowed his anger, trying to soothe me. That man was Chloe's friend. Don't you know you made things really difficult for her? His words ignited a furious fire in me. I looked at him coldly and asked, Derek, have you forgotten who your wife is? Derek paused, then quickly pulled me into a hug. Of course it's you, honey. Are you jealous? Chloe and I are just like siblings. Don't overthink it, okay? Siblings? Do siblings wear lingerie and use 2 condoms in a car? I wasn't in the mood to expose Derek's lies, but at that moment, he received a text message. His body was pressed against mine, and I instantly felt how hot he was beneath his clothes. Derek immediately let me go. Honey, I left something at the club. I'll go grab it. Before leaving, he even kissed my cheek tenderly. I'm sorry. I'll help you with your face when I get back. Watching his desperate, eager back disappear, even though I had already decided to leave him, my eyes still welled up. 7 years of marriage, and it was still nothing compared to his childhood friend. To marry him, I had cut ties with my father, not returning home for 7 years. For 7 years, I had built our life with him from scratch. When we were at our poorest, we squeezed onto a bed barely bigger than a twin. Back then, Derek would hold me, promising earnestly, Autumn, I'll always be good to you. He said he liked docile girls, so I changed all my bad habits, learning to be a kind and sensible wife. I suffered with him year after year. Now that we had everything, his promises were long forgotten. My tears had dried on my face. My phone vibrated with a text from Chloe. The picture showed her and Derek's clothes scattered on the floor, with 3 used condoms nearby. Derek told me you two haven't done it in ages. He said he loves a little firecracker like me. He's been bored of a good girl like you for ages. I wiped my tears, cursing myself for just moments ago feeling sad. Derek was trash. He wasn't worth my tears. The next day, Derek dragged me out of bed. Before I could even figure out what was happening, he frantically shoved me into the car. Derek, what are you doing? Derek didn't speak, driving the car at over 100 mph down the road. I could only grip the seatbelt tightly, watching him pull up to the emergency room. My arm was throbbing where he'd pulled me. Derek practically threw me in front of the doctor. Doctor, she's ready for the blood. He held me down, forcing the doctor to draw a full 800 cubic centimeters of blood from me. I was so lightheaded from blood loss I couldn't even sit straight. But Derek abandoned me again, rushing to another patient's room. While resting, I overheard the nurses talking. You know that couple next door? Apparently, the woman had severe internal bleeding from, well, let's just say overdoing it in the bedroom last night. But then, one of their friends, or whoever she was, actually volunteered to give 800 cubic centimeters of blood. Who in their right mind could handle that? Luckily, nothing serious happened. The nurses' voices faded as they walked away. My heart pounded, a dull, aching throb spreading through me. So that's why he dragged me here in such a hurry. Chloe had gotten herself into trouble because of their excessive bedroom activities, and I was just here to be her involuntary blood donor. Why should I pay for their mistakes? I rested in the hospital room all afternoon. Then, Chloe, clutching her stomach, actually walked into my room. Seeing my pale face, she chuckled. Oh, sorry, Autumn. We were just a little too intense last night. Hope we didn't embarrass you. Derek, who was supporting her from behind, quickly explained after hearing her words, her husband actually came home last night, and honestly, it's my fault for not supervising them better. Honey, don't get the wrong idea. I merely glanced at him. Is that so? Then why isn't her husband by her side? Derek was momentarily at a loss for words. Chloe chimed in, he has to work, Autumn. Not everyone is as lucky as you, being a stay-at-home wife. With that, she slowly shuffled toward my bed, but just as she reached out to touch me, she collapsed onto the floor. Derek quickly helped her up. Chloe pointed at me, her face contorted in pain. Autumn, I just wanted to thank you. How could you push me just because of one little comment? More blood stained the bed beneath her. Derek, frantic, scooped her up and rushed her back to her room. Less than half an hour later, he stormed back, his face furious, and shoved me hard. Having lost so much blood, I was still disoriented. Derek pushed me directly to the floor. My head hit the bedside table, and blood trickled out. Autumn, how can you be so vicious? Chloe came specifically to thank you, and you actually pushed her. What she said was true. Aren't you just a lazy freeloading wife who does nothing but live off my money? Derek's words made my heart tremble even more. I had co-founded our company with him. In the early days, to secure clients, I drank with those bosses until my stomach bled. To raise funds for him, I practically begged like a dog outside their company buildings every day. Later, as the company earned more and more, Derek told me to stay home and rest. Autumn, things are better now. I can't bear to see you suffer. I told you, I'd take care of you, but I had only been home for less than half a year, and now, to him, I was lazy and good for nothing. I looked at the man I had loved for 7 years, disappointed, realizing he had become such a stranger. I raised my hand and slapped him without hesitation. This slap was the final punctuation mark on our 7 years together. That night, the nurse let me go home after confirming I was stable. As I passed Chloe's room, I saw Derek bustling about, bringing her water and cutting her fruit. So attentive, so gentle. I swallowed the bitter ache in my heart and went home. Just as I arrived, my front door began to pound. I instinctively grabbed the baseball bat leaning against the wall. The door instantly flew open, unlocked with a key. My heart jumped into my throat when I saw the group of men stride in. I spoke to them in English. Who are you? Get out of my house, or I'll call the police. The leader of the group held up a key. We're not breaking in, are we? Isn't this your key? But only Derek and I had a key to this house. Before I could speak, they grinned menacingly and lunged at me. They snatched my baseball bat and started laying their hand all over me. My skin crawled. Get off me! Their touch made me nauseous. A wave of disgust brought tears to my eyes. They forced me onto a table, tearing at my clothes, taking countless photos with a camera. Chloe was right. This woman is damn hot. Her man is so generous. He even gave us the keys. Rage blinded me. I kicked out at the man in front of me with all my might. In their stunned faces, I snatched up the baseball bat and swung it at them. I fought back with all I had. They quickly reacted, trying every way to subdue me. In the end, those men lay groaning on the ground, clutching their heads. I stood huddled in a corner like a cornered animal, unwilling to lower the baseball bat. The next second, Chloe's shrill scream pierced the air. What happened to you all? Tears streaming down her face, she looked at Derek. Derek, these are my husband's friends. I just thought it was dangerous for Autumn to go home alone, so I asked them to protect her. Why did Autumn hit them like this? If my husband finds out, how will I face him? It was the first time I realized Chloe wasn't just a snarky manipulator, she was a total snake, too. Derek didn't notice the dark bruises on my face from their punches. He looked at me with a cold, furious face. Autumn, you're so ungrateful. Chloe nestled into his arms, her eyes fixed on me with venom. Derek, I heard Autumn is terrified of snakes. My friend happens to have a bunch of non-venomous snakes. How about we put her in a room with them? Otherwise, I don't think she'll ever learn her lesson. Derek's eyes flickered with hesitation. Seeing this, Chloe immediately pulled away from him. If you don't want to, then fine. Don't come looking for me anymore. Derek agreed without a moment's hesitation. He and Chloe's friends locked me in the room, and he spoke to me in a low voice. Autumn, don't worry, these snakes aren't venomous. But if you're willing to apologize to Chloe and her friends, I can persuade Chloe to let you go. I sneered, spitting on his face. Derek, you're truly blind. The reason I was terrified of snakes was that once, while running an errand for Derek, I went to a boss's hillside villa to find him and got bitten by a venomous snake. That time, I almost died. Since then, I'm absolutely terrified of snakes. And now Derek was using this to force me to apologize to Chloe. For the first time, I felt like everything I had done before was so foolish. Derek's face turned beet red with rage, and he slammed the door shut. Half an hour later, they brought in 2 baskets of snakes and emptied them all into the room. The slithering sounds of the snakes on the floor made my skin crawl. In the darkness, I could almost see them flicking their tongues, moving closer to me. A cold, slithering sensation wrapped around my ankle. I struggled to break free, only for the snake to bite down hard. More and more snakes coiled around me. My calves, my thighs, my waist, my arms. I was covered in their cold, icy scales. Fear made me tremble uncontrollably. The pain felt like like it was crushing my will. I crawled toward the door, but outside, I could hear Derek and Chloe's joyful laughter. Open the door. My voice made the laughter outside abruptly cease. A moment later, I heard Chloe's triumphant voice. Autumn, if you're willing to kneel and beg for forgiveness, I'll let you go. How about that? The next second, she spoke in a voice only I could hear. My friends took a lot of pictures of you just now. You know? What do you think would happen if I leaked those photos? Would Derek still want you? Another snake bit my thigh. I had countless wounds all over my body. Blood was gushing from the wounds, and combined with the blood I'd already lost today, I was so dizzy I was about to pass out. I regretted it. I regretted not listening to my father, regretted marrying Derek. I was supposed to leave after tonight. I couldn't accept being bitten to death here. My eyelids grew heavier and heavier. I couldn't even speak. Just before I lost consciousness, I heard a commotion erupt outside.